welcome to a live craft and chat here at Fiverific. Everything's a bit different. I suppose that's pretty much how we start every video, isn't it? Everything's a bit different. YouTube wanted me to try a new way to upload, so this is what I'm doing. I'm not used to it. It's a bit alien. I sort of was working with it to make sure I was comfortable enough with the screens over the last week or so, but it's nothing quite like going live with it until you're actually live. So bear with me if it is not good. I think I can kill it and then go with the old way. I don't know. It might be one of those things where YouTube go, ha ha ha, we got you into the new thing and now we've deleted the old one on you. That happens sometimes. So good morning. Unfortunately, in the new setup, it meant that it was a little confusing as to how I set up the pre-stream sort of card, and I think I may have accidentally made a few extras. So if you know of someone who you're expecting in the chat who is not here, they might be waiting over on the other stream. So I message them, give them a link, share it. There's all sorts of ways you can share it. I don't know if I shared the wrong link out. I may have shared the wrong link out. It's a distinct possibility. It's what happens when we try something new. So good morning to everybody in the chat. I have to say that the layout on my end is heaps better than the old one. So if this works, it could be good. It could be good. Okay. Getting heaps of nice messages. Good morning to everybody. I'm so glad you found it. Pip and Poppycock is here in the chat. Hello, Emma. She's nervous about using her Pegasus mini gradient kit. Emma, the big advantage with the Pegasus is that it's super strong. So if you don't like what you've made, you can pull it out. Your yarn's not going to go fluffy and horrible. So you can have multiple tries if you don't like it. I can't wait to see what you make, honestly. The sound is a little bit funky on my end. Is anyone else having trouble? I'm trying a new audio option, so let me know if anyone else is having trouble with their audio. I may have to blanket the screen temporarily and rectify. So let me know what you're going with your audio. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Absolutely. There's 26 in the chat and 10 have liked, so I'd really appreciate that. Now we've had some pretty heavy video last week. And so this week I really just wanted to lift us up a bit and get us back into our craft mojo. So I wanted to have a little talk about some of the tools that I use. That went loud when you look down. Yeah, sorry, microphone's just out of shot. I'll try not to look down. How's that sound? Also, I'm trying not to yell. I don't know why I'm yelling. I'm yelling. Yeah. So I'll try not to do that. When you move your head down, it was more louder and clearer. Oh, now I'm confused. All right. So do you guys want me to try and move the microphone, or are you happy enough when I'm just speaking like this? Because I can do that. I just need to, under my shirt. So I'll need to put the screen off and then fix that. So let me know what you'd like me to do. And I'll do it. I'm okay. It's not difficult. It's just, I will move us back to our other screen. You was excited. I yell when I'm excited. I am excited. I'm excited just to get back into craft. I've really struggled over the last few weeks. Look, it sounds bizarre, okay? I know this sounds really weird, but when there's so much sadness and so much sort of despair, I really struggle when I'm feeling okay. Like I feel like I should be feeling bad. Is it for some reason I feel that the focus is off just by a touch. But is that the scroll? But it's the scroller as well, so it's not the. Oh, okay. No, that would be this system trying to send you out a nice non-buffered shot. That's what it's trying to do. Hey, Stephanie Miller, welcome to the chat. In SoCal, it's very chilly. It's not chilly here. I've got the air conditioning on because it's humid as anything. We've got some beautiful rain, which we desperately need. But this morning, there's not enough of it to take the humidity out of the air. So we are, it's just muggy and wet. So that's great. That's fantastic. Steph's going to be listening till after she has her tea. I totally understand. Yeah, so I was saying that I really struggle with, like, with so much bad stuff going on, I find it very hard to not feel bad. And then when I don't feel bad, I feel guilty that I'm not feeling bad. It's like this cycle, this vicious cycle. So I decided this week, no, I want this to be a place. There'll be some fantastic videos coming up. So if you're not subscribed here, please subscribe so that you don't miss the videos coming up. Those of you that who actually go over and subscribe on the Patreon page, keep an eye out. There's lots of stuff coming for you guys as well. So for those of you that don't know, if you are a Patreon supporter of Fiberific, you get early access to all my videos. Now, in the past, it's kind of been a bit of a joke because I haven't been putting any out. But if you just watched my recent video that came out about my plans for 2020 and my shack tour, you will know that that is changing. So those of you who are over on Patreon, you're about to get a whole pile of cool stuff. I am going to filter it slowly so you're not inundated, but there is some cool things coming, okay? Jackie Dwell says fire fatigue. See, that's the thing, Jackie. It is fire fatigue, but I'm safe. And the only problem I've had is, breathing. So I feel like I don't deserve to have fire fatigue. Does that make sense? And then I feel bad because, anyway, it's a cycle and it is bad. So we've got lots and lots of things happening. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. So let's see if the new microphone picks that up. Well, it's not a new microphone placement. So one of the problems, because of all the breathing issues I'm having with the smoke and just the bad air and my lungs being evil even when there's no smoke, is that I know that it's hard to listen to my videos sometimes because you can hear me breathing all the time because I breathe loudly because I'm struggling to breathe. So I'm trying to move the microphone around, try some different placements. If I can just get it into the right spot, it won't stop it, but it might minimize it a little. Does that make sense? Like just a little, just enough to make it bearable. So that's what we're working on today. Steph says it was an awesome studio tour, by the way. Thank you, Steph. It's a common occurrence with natural disasters. I think it is, Yarn Dragons, but I also feel a bit bad because we've been affected, but not in the same way as most, as our southern brethren. So those in those in New South Wales and Victoria have been hit so hard. And we're in Queensland here, and we've had some small spot fires so far, and the fire season, to be honest, has still got a couple of months to go. So it will, it's going to keep going. But so we need to, I'm like, okay, we've got to actually prepare for a long haul here. Spanish Chick says, I don't think I've actually noticed your breathing at all. Real? Oh, it's because you're used to probably talking to me and used to how loud I breathe in real life, probably. Hey, Derek the Nitwit Strong. Welcome to the chat. Where does Nitwit... I don't have my glasses on, so I could be reading it from Nitwit Strong. Is that those little nitwit things, the round things, or is it just a play on words you went with? So anyway... something I wanted to talk about today was chibis. During the sale, I got so many messages. I'll put that down because I just won't be able to help myself. I got so many messages asking about which chibi should you get. So I'm going to drop down into our double camera. Oh, that's very bright. Let me see if I can fix that. Hang on, I'll have a look over here and see if we need to fix it. No, that's all right. I'll leave it. If it's too bright, let me know. So I don't have any of the yellow in stock, so I had to actually go inside and grab mine out of my craft bag. But there's 4 different sizes and styles of the chibis, okay? So that's one of the things. Excuse me. I'm a nitwit who knits. Oh, I understand, Derek. Thank you. You should get all the chibis. I 100% agree with you. Except if, this is what I'm going to go through here now. So I am probably going to make another video about this at some point. Okay, so there's the chibis come in 2 different styles, okay? So they come in my favorite, which is this bent tip, okay? So I don't know if you how that looks there. Can you see that? See how it kicks up a little on the end? I love that. I love it a lot, okay? I find that it makes for picking up stitches so much easier. This is actually the set that I use for bagging the blinglets. So I actually scoop up all my blinglets on the needle and then feed them into their packaging. I love the little bent tip. I just think it's such a clever thing. Like, I don't know who came up with the bent tip idea for. I don't know if it was Clover. It's probably been around for hundreds of years. Hello, carpet needles and upholstery needles that are basically used. So, you know, there's so many different options, but these are my go-to as the yellow chibi, okay? Or the orange. Is it yellow or orange? I don't know. They're my go-to, okay? Now, iron these needles is pretty dang good. So I can even at a pinch put my DK. Now that's at a pinch, all right? So if I'm going to be doing something a bit bigger, say DK worsted, chunky, multiple strands of something, how do I get in here? There we go. Someone's packaging's ruined now, Chantel. You ruined it. And I've got some of these somewhere too. Okay, come out, little chibi bent tips. You'd think I would have organised this earlier, but I didn't. I remembered to pull them out, but that's as far as I got. Hang on. I can't see the edge. Anyway, I can't get them out. But these are the big ones. Whisper SDI is dropping in to leave a like. I'll be watching back tomorrow. Love from Holland. Hey, Whisper SDI. Yeah, it's be very, like, it would be a ridiculous o'clock for you right now. Is that right? So I look forward to your feedback tomorrow when you do get a chance to watch the video. I don't know what I've done here. This is unheard of. Unprecedented. Spanish Chick says so good for seaming. Oh, mattress stitch. It's a godsend for mattress stitch, okay? So what I want to do is, I've got a little hole over here. I'm going to crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. There we go. Out you come, little packagings. I don't want to wreck it any more than I've already wrecked it. It's the problem. Here we go. Okay, so they come with their little storage tube, right? But they don't come in their storage tube. They come in extra packaging next to it, which I'm not going to open that. Okay, so see how much bigger? So, for a start, in this tube, you get a couple of different sizes, okay? And it's all listed on the packaging, which I don't have for this one, but there's 3 different sizes, so you can do some thicker and thinner yarns. But if you want some really thick ones, then you go with the big goldies, okay? So if you are a worsted weight user, or you've got a couple of strands, or you've got like even just big stitches, because that's the other thing to remember when you're weaving in ends. It's not all about the needle hole size. It's also like the needle hole here. So it's not all just about that. It's also about what size hole is it going to leave when you are stitching. So you don't want to use a crowbar if you're working on lace, which is precisely why let's see if I can open this pack without trashing it. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Here we go. Okay, which is precisely why they've got the purple chibis, which are, come out, little fine needles, a little tiny fine one. So one of those next to it for comparison. So little and tiny and fine, and that's so you can still get your good chibi tips. You've got your nice little bent tip. It's nice. It's I would say they're fairly dull, so you're not going to rip anything. But you can have it so that it won't leave big gaping holes in your work. So that is an important thing as well when you're choosing which needles you're going to be, oops, pop that in the right way, Chantel, which needles you're going to be using for which tasks. And this is why there's so many. One of the sizes isn't. Yes, that's right. I'm getting there. Now these yellow ones, so we've done the orange and yellow, the purple, which are the lace, the blue, which are the jumbo. Now this is a darning needle set. So it's a chibi darning, Well, I mean, I think they're all called chibi. No, this is a tapestry needle set. I don't know why it's called that. The rest are called darning needles. I don't understand their naming classification. It's really bizarre. But this set, the green set, which is my second go-to set, I have to say, is not bent. So I'm trying very carefully to open these without tearing the packaging. No, tore the packaging. Well done. So this set is not bent. So your green tips are, I think they're a similar size to the orange tips or the yellow tips here. Nope, they're not. I'm wrong, totally. So they're straight, but there's 3 different sizes. So you've got like the big crowbar size. You've got a size that's out of your orange set, and then you also have tucked in the middle here, which you can't see very well at all, is a third one, which is very fine, which is the same thickness as the lace set. So, oh, the purple has 2 bents and 1 straight. You're right, it does. Sorry, I get it now. Sorry, Kim. But these 3 are all straight, okay? So if you prefer to do your weaving in with a straight needle, chibi still have something for you. So this is the advantage of using these guys. The quality of their needle is really good. These ones here have been used for so long it's not funny. I can't even tell you when I started using them. I started using them for blinglets not that long ago, but I did not start using them, but I started using them for sewing in ends years ago. And like this is my set. Like the case itself is getting a little worn. But the needles are in great condition. There's no rusting. There's no imperfections. I'm going to have to fix that later. I'm going to keep playing with it and rustling. But the needles themselves are still in really nice condition. And unfortunately, that's not the case with all of our weaving in needles. I've got some other ones that I've just purchased from, Spotlight, or, if you're in the US, it's like our big box store here. And I've pulled it out to use it, and it's got a little rust mark on it. So I find that frustrating. Pippin says, I have a stock question. Do you have 100 grams of Pegasus sock in Hot Joss in stock? I would have to have a look. I believe I do. I think the website photo is wrong. I think it's just showing up what the filler photo is. But I believe I do have 100 grams of Hot Joss in stock. Oh my gosh, guys. I got so sucked into talking about the chibis because I'm obsessed that I forgot to put the link up for the pattern giveaway. So just bear with me for a second. Hopefully I don't crash the world while I find it for you. Why didn't somebody remind me? Oh my gosh. No, that's the wrong list. That's not it. That's my dying list of stuff I've got to get done. Okay, hang on. Giveaway. Oops. Okay, let me pop this in the chat. Enter. Alrighty. There we go. We've got our giveaway. So we are giving away a couple of copies of the beautiful Medina mosaic tiles by Mark Rosebook. What's his other name? The guy with the crochet hook. I think that's his handle. Control V. There we go. That's a link to the pattern if you want to have a look. So we've got 2 copies of this pattern to give away. We've got the one that we'll be giving away by the end of the chat here this morning, so around 11:15-ish my time, probably a dash later because you know what I'm like. Also, if you're watching the live replay, there'll be another link in the comments below, and you find that link, and that will be running for a week leading up to next week's live stream, and we'll announce it there. So yeah, it's that one. So I'm so sorry for not putting that up sooner. It's been sitting there. I've got my little list of things that I like to do. But yeah, so totally forgot, guys, totally forgot. So Mark was lovely when I was talking to him about using one of his patterns. Is that the pattern that the cow was cancelled for? No, it's not. That's a different pattern. But yeah, same guy. There is not a way to enter. It's just saying the campaign has ended. Hang on a second. Really? Did I copy the wrong link? Let me look, guys. Either that or I stuffed up the... Alright, hang on. I've got to fix something. I've stuffed up the dates and times on it because I'm a goober and I did it last night while I was tired. So bear with me while I try and fix it. Alright. Hopefully it won't crash the internet trying to do two things at once, which, you know, has been known to happen. Let me have a look here. All right, it's going to make me redo the whole thing. All right, give me a second. I'm going to add a new giveaway. Add a prize. Medina Mosaic tiles, I think it is. Add a picture. Oh, wow. This is dumb. See, I thought I was all good and I was so excited and now it's bad. Hang on. Let me just fix this up. I can't see the chat right now just while I'm diving in looking for the photo. Here we go. Open. Okay. Save. All right, we have a prize set up. Takes a little second, guys. We want to add an entry option because I need to add in your YouTube user name. Hang on. This option is mandatory. Save. Saved. Okay. And then we want to make it from now until, what's today's date? The 16th, guys. (10:24 to 11) Brisbane time. Oh, I think I know what happened there. All right. All right, I think I know what it did. Save and preview. Control C. All right, here we go. Let's pop in a, there's a new link. Fingers crossed that works. Oh. Oh, let me know if it doesn't work, you guys. I don't know what happened before. Alrighty. Okay. It is such a stunning pattern, isn't it, Sally? Hey, two Arctic Wolves, welcome to the chat. Knit Spin Girls, this one in particular is a crochet design. So yeah. The purple lace darning set is the smallest one, has 2 bent and 1 straight. That's right, yes. Sorry, did I? Oh, hang on. Oh no, I've got live chat, I think. All right. Make sure you guys have got live chat, not top chat. I've got live chat, which is good. Rebecca Nelson's been cooking tea. Oh, that sounds awesome, Rebecca. Okay, so yeah, so we've got our links in. Make sure if you click the link to right click it so that it doesn't take you away from the live stream. Sally says it works fantastic. Hey Teresa, welcome to the chat. Out of curiosity, did you ever draw the replay winner of the Despina shawl? I'll have to look that up. I think I did, but I will double check. Comp's working. Thank you, guys. That is awesome. Hey, meme cat do. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, and this screen is a dash smaller than the old one, so I feel like I'm leaning into it a little. Okay, so competition is going. I'll let you know when it's ending. Should be sometime towards the end of the live stream. We'll do that draw, and then next week we'll do the draw of the replay winner. So if you're watching the replay, that you do still have an option to win this. So don't panic. Don't panic. So we've been talking about chibis. Now I'm going to go into a much more detailed with some nice close-up shots. I'll make a video for it and pop it up on the channel. But these are what I use when I am weaving in ends. Now, because we had so many questions that I realized that the listings mustn't be clear enough on the website. So I am going to go and have a look at the listings, double check they're clear enough, but I'm also going to make a video and also showing how I weave in my ends. Okay, so it's something not too dark. How does that look? So I suppose the granny square, it's not the worst way to show you how I weave in my ends. But especially because, like, do you just wrap around the middle one, like when you do a granny square like I do? Hang on. Just realized it's the first time I've tried to weave in an end since I've had these nails put on. So I've never had nails. Well, I had nails for my wedding, but I don't recall doing too much. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up a little so you can see. That's where it's naturally come out of. I want to skip the stitch that it's directly on top of. And I want to just tuck in my little chibi tip and whip it in. Whoop. And there we go. And I'm just going to go round and round. But that's how I do the middle of a square. It's more to get the tail out of the way rather than to actually secure it. Does that make sense? So we're not actually, like, I find, the other thing I tend to do is when I go to put it back in, I just grab a bit of the stitch from before so that it doesn't just pull straight back out. Okay. I also give my tails a trim, but then I may go back in and trim again. Sorry, face cam. Thank you, guys. I'll go back in and trim that again, possibly after I wash and block, because sometimes when you wash things, they pick out or whatever. But when I'm doing the other ends, so I don't know why I have no end. I may have already woven in an end. That feels weird. Abby just tried to ring me during a live stream. She should know better. So yeah, don't know why she thought that was a good idea. Hang on, there we go. All right. So when I'm weaving in an end or something that I want to be more secure, I really make sure I'm going up and down the stitches, not just across. How many channels can we message her on to tell her about the face cam? I know. Oh, gosh. Oh, what's happening here? That was when my phone rang. She was probably trying to tell me about the face cam. That's probably a good point. Abby says I was trying. I did fix the face cam though, didn't I, guys? Like, come on, abs, and please don't ring during live streams, honey. That down cam just went haywire. It did go a bit haywire, didn't it? I don't understand why, but it did. I just spotted all that color flickering changing. Okay, so we've got our end, and I want to weave it in, but I tend to weave up and then onto the next stitch I want to weave down, okay, and then I'll weave across to hide the end, because I don't want it going anywhere. I want it staying where it is. Now, I do not weave my ends until the end. Yeah, I did notice you guys spamming me in the chat. I was looking at what I was doing. I was busy weaving in ends. I don't want these ends coming undone, and I don't weave in my ends till I've either finished a section and I'm happy with it, because me unpicking my ends by going crazy and all around corners, I've just thrown hair somewhere, going around corners and making it so that it just can't pull and run. I think it's a throwback from weaving in ends and knitting, because you really want to be careful when you're doing that. That pulling them back out again is really tricky. So that's how I weave my ends in. Again, when I'm doing the video to show the chibis, I will make sure it's very clear. I'll have a much closer camera angle than what we have here. So I'll pop these back in their little tub. This is my favorite part of the chibi. the needles are great, don't get me wrong, but see this container? This tub is the best part of Chibis. I have not lost these because of the container. Because it's not just a needle, it's not a couple of needles, it's a bullet, basically, a big plastic bullet that's very hard to lose. So, and you guys know me, I'm real good at losing stuff, so that is great. Chantel trying to teach, but people are just here for a face. Yeah, that's something I never thought I'd actually ever see, read, or hear. IKEA is tonight. Yes, Suzzy's right, Kim. Tonight we have our Caffeinated Crafters meetup. See, I just like total tangent. You ready? Keep up. Caffeinated Crafters is on tonight. It's the first one for 2020. We are meeting up at IKEA at Logan. I will be there a bit early tonight, so I'm aiming to be there around sort of 5-ish. So if you want to come along, I'm going to be bringing some supplies. So if you guys need any extra yarn for making animal pouches or things like that. Now, I'm 100% aware they've said pause making, but going forward, they're probably going to need more again. And whether they need it in 2020 or 2025, I'm going to keep making and hold on to them until they're ready for us again. So I'm not going to be shipping my things yet because the Animal Rescue Collective have asked us to hold on. If you want to make a donation, go hard. But if you a cash donation. But if you're wanting to send items, you need to hold on to them until they're ready, because at the moment they're a bit inundated and they know they've got more stuff incoming. But it's not going to stop me from making things for my local groups and things like that. So I'm going to have some 100% wool there, all skeined up in like little 50-gram skeins, which is big enough for the small pouches. Yeah. Maddie wants meatballs and chips and gravy. I think I'd like meatballs, but I don't like them with the chips. Hispanic Chick says she's going early to shop. I am going early to shop also. I'm going to throw everything in the car and then I'm going to go back up. You could come up for a holiday. That's right. So Jackie Doyle was planning on coming for a visit up to Queensland, but she is unable. Spanish Chick says skeined or caked. Look, at the moment, skeined. I'm going to try and get a few caked up, though, to use for today. If you are coming along and you don't have any crochet tools, that's okay, because I'll be bringing spares of that as well. Are there things for the animals that can be made from acrylic? There are. There's not as many things. They really do want natural fibers. Normally, the things that are made with acrylic need a natural fiber pouch liner. So you also need to read the instructions. So if it says that you can make this out of acrylic, double check, because they probably need 3 liners sewn up as well. And I think some of the bird's nest ideas and the little nests, they can be made from acrylic. But the best thing that you can do is jump onto the ARC Facebook group page. In their files tab at the top, they've got all these different things. So if one of the mods can toss in a link to the Animal Rescue Craft Guild Facebook page, it's got all the information there. So you have to remember to follow the instructions of your local group. So Kirby, if you are planning on donating, you could totally, the other thing they're asking for is for people to remember their own groups, because while it's winter for you now, your summer and bushfire season will be coming soon. So you've obviously got animals in your own regions that could use help. Double check what your local groups need as well, and you could sort of give it to them on behalf of Australia, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So yeah. Freedom fries. Is that like a democracy sausage? I don't think anything's like a democracy sausage, Spanish Chick. I was trying to explain them to some friends in the US and they don't get it. They don't get it. Hey, Zebra Kitten in Scotland, how are you going? Jackie's moving to a new state again. So yeah. We've already eliminated Germany's mark on sausage by going from Frankfurter to hot dog. What? I think I missed something here. Okay. So the next questions I've been getting a lot of is, what's your go-to crochet hook? I have two that are my absolute favorite go-tos. I was given a beautiful set of tulip Etimo hooks that I've had for so long now, but I have one little problem with them. As they're aging, it's very hot and humid up here. The grip is getting a bit tacky. So I'm having to give them a clean down before I use them. They go for fine for ages, and then they need a clean down. But my other favorites are these, which are the Clover Amours. So these are the Tulip Etimo hooks. So that's them. But as I'm getting older, I don't know, or I've found a new hook style that I like. It's the Clover Amours. I find their grip just to be that little bit squishier. Hang on, I'm just going to put that aside. I find that, so see here, it's very similar position that they've got the flat section, which is great for me. It's how I like. They have a nice tapered head, which I also like. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about tapered, I have a video where I talk about the different shapes of crochet hooks. But one thing I like about the Clover is while the actual head is tapered, the shaft is not tapered. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring this up a bit higher. Can you see how the gold hook at the top here, the Etimo, its shaft is tapered as well. This one's not. And this is what makes your actual stitch size. And so I was finding that with these, I would be a bit hit and miss with my stitch size, whereas with these, I'm not. And the Clover grip is just a dash squishier, but it could also be that these are old. So I remember these being the bomb diggity. These saved me when I was a stitcher. I used to work for designers stitching. So I would stitch for 12, 13 hours a day every day. And I was having a problem, not so much with the joints in my wrist, but with the tendon running down here. And it was getting to the point where it was actually causing me pain to hold on to, you know, the straight metal ones with no squishy bits. And one of the designers recommended that I try, what did she have? It was a poopy gold. It was a Clover poopy gold. What are they called? I can't remember. I'm a terrible Clover dealer. But soft grips. That's what they're called, soft grips. I tried that. And even though to me these are softer compared to what I was using, that was unbelievable. And it instantly took the pain out. Soft touch. Thank you, soft touch. And so when I moved over to these, it was that much softer again, which just meant I could crochet for, like, I felt like days. But then I've moved over to the Clovers because I prefer their shaft. Their shaft is more the right size, if that makes sense. And I find their grip just to be a dash squishier. And I'm like, angry gripper. So if I've got a bit of extra squish, it means my fingers are happier. So I tend to use a Clover more fairly well exclusively now. Sorry, my lovely gifts. I pull them out every now and again because they also have I think it's a 3.25. Is it 3.25? Anyway, it's a size that these guys don't have. And so sometimes I want that size. But yes, so I tend to go for the Clover Amours. Now, ready for the sales pitch. Sales pitch time. Dun, 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 dun. All the Clover stuff's available on my website. So you can go over and check it out. I don't have any of the yellow tips in stock yet, but I do have all of these guys. I've got lots of different sizes of the individual Clover hooks if you want to try them out for yourself and give it a whirl. Highly recommend them. They feel very nice in your hand. And even if, like, I'm a, pencil grip holder. So even if you are an over the top, it's got a nice spot for your thumb to sit. So whereas how do I crochet? I have all the fingers going. I grip with those two, and these two move yarn. That's what I do. There we go. Clover Amour all the way for Pip and Poppycock. Jacob Candle is talking about the Clover. These are the Clover Amour. They're not Clover Soft Touch. Oh, I think I do have a listing for some Soft Touch, but I don't actually have any in stock. But I do have Amour in stock. Yarn Dragon says the Amour does have a 3.25. It must be a different size. I'll check it out. There's one size that they don't have. And I had to add. I actually bought a 3mm. Actually, this is my 3mm. It was not in the set. What is it about the US not including 3mm into things? There's no 3mm in the ChiaoGoo interchangeables either. We have to add it all in. Christina Orchid says, I'm a knife grip holder, which is the overhand way, and I love my Clover more. There you go. Christina is a Clover more fan as well. So, yeah, whereas I'm a pencil grip, there's a knife grip, then there's the riders and pullers, and that's how we actually make our stitches. So, you know how with knitting, we talk about continental and throwing and picking and English knitting and all the different ways. We crocheters also have a whole gambit of ways that we like to hold our tools, use our tools, make our stitches. So yeah, so there's lots and lots of different things. Zebra Kitten says, I was torn between Clover Moor and the Tulip Edamo, but went for the Tulip. I also think Prim do a really nice ergonomic hook. I have not seen the Prim ergonomic hooks yet. I'll have to have a squeeze. I've heard of that name though, but I haven't checked out their hooks. What made you decide between the Tulip versus the Clover, Zebra? Just out of curiosity, because I'm always curious about all the things. You think I would have brought some craft to do? But I don't know if I've. Oh, hello! I was missing that hook. There's my 3mm Clover and more. Hello. So earlier in the chat, or way at the beginning of the chat, we had Pip and Poppycock asking what size hook to use for the Pegasus 4-ply, which is what all these little dudes are made out of. I'm using a 3mm, but I am a loose crocheter, so a normal human would probably use a 3.5. The Clover and Moor set don't have a 3mm, but you can buy one on its own. Yes, which I've got. That's my 3mm. Actually, I don't think any. What I don't understand. What is it with the US? Shintamani says the soft touch is the soft touch is just more comfy for her, and that, like knitting needles, is why we have so many different brands and styles. I'm just always curious about what makes people choose different things. Okay, the tulips came in a pretty case and had scissors and needles included, and the Clover didn't. And how nice are those tulip scissors, honestly. I love my little tulip. They're little tiny tulip scissors. They're great. Lindsay says, I use Clover Amore and Tulip both, but the Amore are squishier and are my preferred between them. Yeah, so I love the tulips, don't get me wrong, and their case is awesome and it protects the needles really well. Which I think is a bit of a thing. Like, I don't understand why Tulip don't bring out a nice case. Like, I've seen them come out every now and again with like a special deal where you can get a case. I don't understand why it's not the normal. It has perplexed me for some time. All right, you guys. Hey, look, there's another set. Look at this. I've got Clover Green in my project bag. So I probably didn't even need to open that one and wreck its packaging. Sorry, packaging. So yeah, so that's what I mean. I've got Clover things just shoved in I don't even know what's in here. The only one that I've needed a square on, and it's not in a ball. I might have to wind it into a ball. I need that hook there. I got to sort myself out here. I'm going to get confused. There's so much stuff out. That goes there. That goes in there. These are going to get pushed to the back. So these are my favorite. Do you guys have a favorite weaving in needle? Do you have your go-to weaving in needle? Shintamani says that Clover just knit better. I mean, not Clover. What are they called? ChiaoGoo knit better. I personally prefer the ChiaoGoo. Oh, careful, Shantae, he's about to bump your microphone. I personally prefer the ChiaoGoo knitting needles. I like their the lace knit tips, not the red. I don't like the elbows on the red. Which unfortunately is probably why there's not many in stock. I don't restock them. So yeah, it is. Spanichick says she's just found the Rose Edamo set on Catch of the Day for $87. Wow. Zebra says, I like wool needles. What's a wool needle? Like, how does it differ from a like just a normal, like, you know, Clover or or tapestry needles or whatever. Shintami says she just uses whatever suits her yarn. That's a fair call. All right, you guys, this could be bad. Oh, do you think I have a pair of scissors? The answer is probably no. Like, seriously. All right. Shearers. Oh, look at that. I don't even need to worry about it. What am I thinking of? Love my chagoos. I won't use anything else now. I'm with you, Knit Spin Girl. My family gave me a set of knit picks many years ago before I started being a dealer, and they are languishing at home. I love my chagoos. I won't use, the red, just haven't, I've got the red, but I just haven't used them yet. See, I like the red lace, not the red. Does that make sense? But everyone's different. Like, and that's what I'm saying, is that's why everyone has so many different sets. I'm trying to make a ball here, you guys, while I talk, without a Swift. So hopefully I don't trash it, because that's, you know, that's happened before. I'm trying to do it carefully and neatly. They're aluminium and have a plastic eye, which means they're easy to thread even with thicker yarns. If I remember, I'll put a pick up in the fun zone. Oh, that'd be great, Zebra Kitten. Thank you. I've never heard of them before. Chintamani, the Chalku cables won her over. Is that the red cable, Chintamani? Because I love the red cable. What's the difference between the red and the red lace? The red have got a duller tip, and it's not as tapered. And they normally, on the bigger sizes, they have like a little kink or a little elbow in their needle. So depending on some ways that you knit, they might be better, but not the way I knit. The red lace have just got a longer tip. It's got a longer tapering on the tip, and it's a finer point, which is perfect for lace stitches and picking up your knit two togethers and all that sort of stuff. In saying that, I do tend to use the reds for my 9-inch socks because I don't do a lace in the 9-inch. So it's kind of like, well, I mean, I can either have it or not have it, really. So I don't normally have a nice fine tip on my socks, which does bug me a little bit because I do like to have a nice fine tip. Where are we? Chintami likes the red and the blue cables. Yes, the blue cables, I have not had the opportunity to have much of a go with those yet, but I am looking forward to it. I keep selling out of stock before I get a chance to nick any. Chintami says lace tips rule. They do. So this could be very bad. I could be making an absolute mess here. I'm not very good at winding balls like this. I'm absolutely a Swift and ball winder girl. Which if I had have thought about it, I would have totally organized this before live stream. Where are we? What's Rebecca Nelson's favorite of Chowgoo? This is like a total Chowgoo love-up party, isn't it? It's not a bad thing, you know. It's totally not a bad thing. Oh, look, it's resembling a ball. Can you get longer cables for shorties? You can put, on the blue shorties, they take a small, they've got a small connector, so you can use any of the red small cables. But at the moment, there's no more blue cables available. I think the longest you can get isn't, I'm going to say 8-inch off the top of my head. The red shorties use the mini cables, so you could use all the mini cable. No, is that right? They use the mini cables? Off the top of my head, the red shorties use the mini cables, and you can buy longer mini cables. The shorties will go on to their standard cable connection for their size. Does that make sense? So you just need to check the actual cable connection. I'd have to have a look it up. I don't have any in stock. I can't pull them out and have a look. Sally Schilling got a Chowgoo Swift for her birthday, and she just used it the other day, and it was great for sitting on the table. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a nice little flat armish Swift, and it packs up really flat and small. I highly recommend you make a bag for it if you're a sewer. Keep all the pieces together, and then go from there. But yeah, you can use the shorties, use the mini cables, and the blue set use the small cables. That's right. But the blue cables are a finer cable. While they have the same small connection, the actual cable itself is a flexia cable, which is the only complaint some people have about the red cables. Sometimes it's just not quite bendy enough, and so they created the blue flex cables, which use the same technology, but they're a little bit thinner so that they flex a little more. Pippin says the longest cable I have is a 60-inch, so that is 40, so that's 150. So yeah, that's about the longest you can get, I think. But you can use a cable connector and add your cables together if you need to. You need to pop a Swift and ball winder on your set as part of your standard equipment. Look, I would, but my set's very little, Jackie, and they take up lots of space. I just keep it in the box it came in and store it on top of my new yarn shelves. Ah, speaking of yarn shelves, Team Fiberific came over here to help me with my personal craft room, which was absolutely trashed. And it got to the point of overwhelming, and I could not deal with the space. I couldn't use the space. I had family members just tossing stuff in there from the doorway, so you can imagine how good it looked. And so there was that. But they came in, they helped me out over a couple of days, and I just popped in a new comfy chair, which I managed. My stationer that I use for the business had a sale on chairs, and I got this amazing chair. And it's just a executive, but it's an office chair. So it's still, on wheels, and like you sit up, but you can lean. Like this one, you can lean back. That one you can too. And it's so comfy. Oh man, I'm getting so scared I'm going to just end up with a knotty mess. Which I always recommend use a Swift, guys. Kirby says that, by the way, that great video on the shack. It was interesting seeing behind the scenes. Yeah, I work in quite a small space, so things have to be maneuverable and wigglyable. There we go, wigglyable. That's a new word. We're going with that one. Where is your Nosta pinning? It's over there. I know. I was tempted to go and grab it, but it's like I would have to get up, and I'd have to disconnect my microphone, which is an easy position to disconnect as usual. So I didn't. So yes, she fed us awesome roast pork. I did. I had to do something. At Christmas, I tried a fellow YouTuber. He has an Instagram feed, Nico's Kitchen, and he did a step-by-step tutorial on roasting pork belly perfectly to get crackling and delicious bits. And pork is probably one of the things I avoid cooking. Well, now I'm obsessed with it. So it's like, oh, yay, look, lots of people coming. Let's cook more pork. And so I cooked a huge pork that day. It was enormous. Anyway, it was delicious. The funny thing about the video was that I've been to the shack so many times, but it's never been set up for filming, so it was all different. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I've got, when I'm not filming, this table's pushed like flat against this wall. The lights are all stacked away. So this area here is quite open because my work desk is just over there. So yeah, so it is very different for each of the sort of jobs that I do. And then we actually don't dye in here at all. We do the dyeing out of my back patio of my house. You need to put a link. I can't. It was in his Instagram stories. And I screenshotted all his Insta stories to follow the instructions. I'll send you the photos I took. Like that's it. I was working off like a photo recipe basically. Where is it? And when I'm there for filming, we're live dyeing, so it's different again. That's right. So hopefully, guys, February, if it's not disgusting and hot, February is when we will be starting back up our live dye sessions. So get your photos into the Instagram feed if you would like your yarn dyed, or your photo dyed into yarn. For those of you who don't know what on earth we're talking about, we've got a few new faces. What we recommend is that you go and pop photos of your own over on your Instagram feed. They need to be public so I can see them. Hashtag Viberific Inspo, and then I'll go through leading up to our dye stream and pick out a few colors, and then I will also make sure that I always dye them a little bit to my I take artistic license is what I'm saying. And then whoever's photo it was, they'll be contacted within a day or so with a photo of it dry. You get first refusal. That is, you have zero obligation to purchase, but if you want it, you get first dibs. And it's a lot of fun. We dye it live. We have this camera set up all over the dye pots. You can check out some live dye videos that we've done in the past here on the channel. So don't forget your water bottles. Oh yes, absolutely. Kim made us these beautiful water bottles with our names and Team Fiberific on them with her amazing Cricut machine. Spanner Chick, I don't think she's bringing that blanket. Joss has made this amazing blanket. It's over on her Instagram feed. And it's all done, and you should have heard us last night like fighting over it like seagulls and a chip. It was hilarious. It's like, that's for me, is it? And the answer was no, it's not for any of us. Zero obligation, but it's hard to say no. You can totally say no. Look, we have a ball of yarn. Oh, that lightning's sounding full on. We've got a bit of a storm happening outside. It's 11 o'clock in the morning here in Brisbane. Morning storms are not the usual. That will be fun. Okay. It's been a little while since I've made one of these squares, you know. It's like, I did magic loop on them. So I can't even remember how I started them. Goodness me. 1, 2, 3. That is the Persian tiles that she made. It is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Hang on. I don't think I have to remember. I think I've got a copy of the pattern. No, that's the knitted ones I've got a copy of the pattern for. Oh, more tea, more tea. Two Arctic Wolves says it's sprinkling it at her place. That's awesome. I took some photos yesterday. Let me just have a look. I've got 2 chains. I took some slow-mo videos. I've got a Samsung phone, you guys, and it's got these options for like slow-mo and super slow-mo. And I took a video in the super slow-mo of it raining, and when it slowed down, it just came down. So it looked like snow. And my husband was like, "Oh my God, was it snowing?" I'm like, no, it was raining with super slow-mo. So yeah, go from there. But hang on, I've just got to think, because otherwise I stuff it up if I don't. So this is the Essence of Joss, which is a undyed or cream base with the sprinkling of the pinky colours that we use to make Joss. And that's what I'm making this one out of. We've got, if you need any yarn, you can totally pre-order it on the website. We'll have yarn dyeing starting back up in a week or so. We've got Caffeinated Crafted dyeing, not Caffeinated Crafted. Mystery Lace Club dyeing is happening this weekend to get out and ready. Or maybe even Friday afternoon. We'll see what it's like. And we'll go from there. We'll see, well, what the weather's like really is what it's boiling down to. I can dry inside if need be, which I've been having to do because we've had a bit of smoke in the air. So I don't dry the yarn in the smoke. What's going on in the chat? What's going on here? There's fighting. There's fighting between Team Fiberific over Joss's makings again. See, this is what happens in our little private chat as well. They just bicker. It wasn't a mod present, it was a Sweat in the Shack workers present, but I'll think of something for mods. Thank you, Spanner Chick. Where are we? Bub Current says she had 22 mil of rain. Oh, that's amazing, Bub. That would just be like lovely. Did that make a dent? Because you're out in a bit of central Queensland, aren't you? If I remember correctly. Hang on, I'm just wiggling over here. All right. Could you please get your? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Tammy. I'll wiggle. I'm wiggling. Here we go. Let's see if that's a bit better. Hang on. I've got a different screen here. All right. Let's see if I can just. Oh, light just fell. That's great. There we go. Oh, that's. I am going to try and adjust something here, you guys. So bear with me while I just knock the brightness off just a dash. Okay, let's hope we haven't trashed anything here. There we go. All right, how's that? Is that a bit better? I'm just making a granny square, but I think I've screwed it up already. I think I made 1, 2, 3, 4. I did. So I've got to go back because see here I had 4 instead of 3. So I've just got to get rid of one of those. Now I've got to try and work into a magic loop I've already pulled. Good job, Chantel. Mad skills. So those of you that watched my shack tour heard how I talk about how I am not the greatest at anything, and how I have still got lots to learn. And case in point is basically what that boils down to. Case and point. Oh, that's right. Sally's reminding everybody to enter the giveaway. I just heard the dreaded clang of my aluminium crochet hook hitting the floor. Oh no, Rory. You need to sort that out. Yeah, we do have to watch out. Northwest Queensland and any rain is acceptable, greatly accepted. Yes. Okay, let me just double check. All right, so let me know if my hands are better now. I'm sorry for that, guys. I get sucked into what I'm doing and forget that you guys are here to watch my hands rather than, and I just forget that my hands are visible. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, now we're on to our little 4th section. So we're making squares and not hexagons or octagonals. I'm just going to make up my own words now. Octagonals are now a thing. So we need to decide what shape an octagon is. Hey, Claire. Welcome to the chat. Totally didn't sneak in at all. It's like it's basically a grand entrance. Da, 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 I'm here. Which is awesome because I always want to know when you're in the chat, Claire. Alrighty, there we go. Oops, that's not what I want. I want a slip. There we go. Goodness me, this is actually Claire's granny stitch pattern that's on Claire's website, actually. Her basic granny square. Yarn Dragon says, I think it's always great to learn and expand your skills. I agree with you 100%. And I think the day you go, well, I know everything about that, means you either need to find a new passion or hobby, or you need to realize that maybe you don't and you just know all that you want to know. Sneaking works better if you don't announce it. Yeah, there's that. Red carpet treatment for Bob Wilson 123, and you deserve red carpet treatment. You're crochet royalty. I mean, I feel a bit guilty crocheting your pattern while you're watching, so please don't pick on me. I will cry. I will def cry. Basic granny square. There we go. Thank you. It is. I'm going to learn how to twinned knitting. Twinned. I can't remember, but I know what it looks like. That's gonna be fun. How's your learning to ask for help going? Not great. Not great. I'm not good at that. That's a definite failing. You and Jacob could start a club on, on things that would have been done if Chantel had have asked for help. Crochet Bob, a red carpet. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is true. We could totally do it. It wouldn't look weird at all, would it? Oh, you already did start that. Oh, good. Excellent. Not looking forward to reading the minutes from that meeting. Oh dear. Okay. She says carefully. Can you still see my hands all right? Because I'm quite comfortable now. In a way, it's a type of fair isle knitting. Is it two colors? Is it always two colors? Is my question. Lisa Letton is learning I-cord cast off. I-cord cast off is one of those ones that you think, oh my God, why am I doing this? There's a million ways to do this faster, but such a nice finish. Totally worth the work. Zebra Kitten says she's not great at asking for help either. Thank you, Zebra Kitten. I appreciate you sharing, because I don't feel so bad because, you know, Kim and Jacob pick on me for not asking for help all the time. They don't pick on me. They care is what it is. And they get angry at me when I hurt myself for doing things myself. I love Claire's patterns. I'm about to start the beautiful bag tote. Awesome. Zebra Kitten. Oh dear. Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm not good at accepting help even when offered. The other Tammy. That's right. Yeah, Spanner Chick just turns up like, hey, I'm here to do a thing, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I think. And it doesn't help now that my daughter's in with them either. So like stuff will happen here, and Abby will just message Kim like, hey Kim, Mum's doing a thing by herself that she shouldn't be doing because she'll get hurt or she, you know, it's too much work for one person or whatever, and so she's got like eyes and ears in my house. Stupid people trying to help me and be supportive friends. She knows she's too well. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Sally says she just Googled some pictures of twin knitting and it looks lovely. It does. You'll have to let us know how it goes, Rebecca. We'd be really interested. Can you pop photos of what you end up making over in the Fiberific Fun Zone on Facebook? That would be great. That's speaking of Fiberific Fun Zone. Oh gosh, my hands are actually getting a bit clammy. I'm just going to put this down for a second. I'm going to bring us over to our other screen, back to single camera. Just temporarily, just because that's quite bright and white. Fiberific Fun Zone is our group over on Facebook where everyone can post photos and share it. Here in the chat, it's hard for you guys to share your photos, and well, it's impossible, and you can't share links either. Only mods or myself can share links. So if you go and join the Fiberific Fun Zone, you have to answer a couple of questions at the start. They're basically to keep out evil people who want to sell us sunglasses. And just adhere to a few rules. One of them being that it's the Fiberific group, so unless you actually have permission from myself or one of the mods, seriously, lots of self-promo will end up being deleted. We don't mind the occasional. I'm pretty low-key. I'm a true believer in a rising tide floats all ships. But sometimes, every now and again, I'll get a bit like, really? Maybe you should have your own group for this. Not so much actually in our group, but I see it in other people's groups. We've got a really good bunch over in the Fun Zone. I think there's about 500 people over there. Lots of lurkers, but a few active chatters, which is great. And then you can share photos of what you're working on and things you've made out of Fiberific yarn or using our knitting or crochet needles. And sometimes it's just about having passion for the yarn. It's not even having purchased from Fiberific, because I'm all the way over here in Australia. So if you're in the US or the UK, or unless you want hand-dyed yarn by me, you can pretty well get most things I stock local, which I'm okay with. I have an Amazon page as well, so that if you want to purchase from Amazon.com, if you go through one of my links, one of my affiliate links, then it helps to support the business as well. So we've got lots of little ways that can slowly build the coffers that actually all go in towards buying things like this that you can't quite see, which I've just realized been dropping down. It's in the shot. That's our overhead webcam there. But we've got lights and cameras and SD cards and power cords and USB cords and a laptop and, you know, like all the things that you need to buy to make all these things possible. All these little things like affiliate marketing and, you know, click the Knit Picks link if you want to buy Knit Picks yarns. I've got a link over on affiliates page on my website. So, you know, there's always something going on that you can utilize from that perspective that still helps Fiberific, but also means you don't have to have things shipped from Australia, which I know the prices are ridiculous and I've got no control over. On my website, I have the current Australia Post listing of prices. So if you look at those prices and go, oh my gosh, you know, that's terrifying. I just had a parcel I shipped to the UK yesterday. 600 grams cost $36 to ship Australian. And I'm just like, you must really want this a lot. And I'm like packaging it up thinking, how can I make this lighter? Because if you get it under 500 grams, the price halves. And I'm just like, I couldn't because of what it was. It was just heavy. And it was just like, oh my gosh. So I definitely understand that you don't want to pay postage, which, because I don't like paying postage. Postage is not my favorite bill to pay. So yeah. Where are we? Oh my gosh. And Kim's talking about some of the things. Oh, she needs new sunglasses. Sally says, I've just started making the Abby shawl. I'm doing it in worsted weight instead of the 8-ply. Sally, that's going to be so beautiful. That's named after my Abby. Oh, I just whacked the microphone. That's named after my Abby. So she'll love that. And yeah, it'll look great in worsted weight. It'll be a dash bigger. I'm just having a quick read through the chat here. I've had to go and frog back a bit. I didn't realize there was a decrease and increase on the. Oh yeah, I've done that before. Absolutely. Jacob's popped up a link from my Amazon page. Thank you, Jacob. You should have added Tim Tams to get it up to the kilo. Look, you know what? Because I might just have to buy boxes of Tim Tams to keep here, which could also be bad. But what happens is all the packages are sealed and packed here. The post office is next to the supermarket. But yeah, so yep. Have you been working on your fiber to the wearable top? I forget the name. Lindsay, I have not. No, I have not. I've been doing other things. So over here, my daughter's still on school holiday. She has 8 weeks off. It is a summer school holiday and Christmas holidays all combined. So she's been off school since the end of November. She starts year 10 at the end of January. And so generally during this time, Fiberific does what we call a slowdown. So I don't ship orders daily. I just ship them a couple of times a week. We have the live streams, and that's about it. So I've been doing my diamond dot art. I try to do something a bit different, something a bit that I don't normally have time for during these breaks and these times. So I was working on a diamond dot, which I've never done before. So if you check out my personal Instagram page, which is chantel.hills, there's a link to it on the Fiberific Instagram as well, so you can follow it from there. But I did, Andrea's Die Wench gave me this stunning Van Gogh sort of copy for diamond dots, and I'm like, tonight when I go to IKEA, I'm hunting for a frame. I'm hunting for a frame for it because I want to get it up on the wall. I just love it so much, and I enjoyed the process. One thing I'll say about diamond dots is it's really addictive to do. It's very easy to realize it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you need to not be doing this anymore and you need to go and lay flat somewhere. Yeah. Buy the mini ones so you can add them. I think I'm missing that. Spanish Chick says it's also insanely hot at the moment and you don't want to be spinning when your hands get sweaty. So, and that is 100% true, because especially with what I'm spinning, you add in just a little perspiration and the heat that's in my hands, which is why I had to stop crocheting for a second there. And you can felt the wool before you start spinning it, which is insanity in itself. Hey, Aunt Ida, how you going? So yeah, framed. Yeah, all the words. English language not functioning in my brain. And English is my first language. So you'd think that I'd have that one down pat. The answer is no. Lindsay says, I've been wanting to try diamond art, but I'm not sure if I need to be obsessed with another craft. The advantage, Lindsay, is that you buy the kit and that's what you make. You don't need to buy any sort of, I mean, I went out and got an extra couple of little like things just to make it so I could have a few trays of dots open at the same time. But you don't need like yarn, you can't build up a stash of it. So I just really wanted to make sure that I had a go and I loved it and I'm obsessed with it, but I'm not going to go out and purchase a new one straight away. So yeah, there's Chantel who's trying not to look at the shops that sell them, and there's totally not going to be right next to a spotlight tonight that sells them. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. Accessory kit and trays. That's right. Pattern draw time. It is pattern draw time. Let's go over here and let's look. Which one is it? I gotta refresh the screen. Let's see. Oh, lots of people entered this one. We need to choose our winner. I'm going in to choose the winner now. It is closed. It is closed. So we're going to choose our winner randomly from all participants, choosing the winner. And I need to look up your name because it just gives me your email address as your winner, and that doesn't help me because I need to know your YouTube username, which is, hang on, I'm looking it up. Lisa Quilts a Lot just won that prize. So I've got your email address. I will send you the link for this. So Lisa Quilts a Lot. Are you, I think you might even just be a little bit stalking us. What's the word? Lurking. Lisa Quilts a Lot is our winner. So I'm jumping over here so I can see. Lisa Quilts a Lot is our winner. So I will, yeah, total lurker, that's the word. Lisa, congratulations, and I will get that out to you after the live stream is over. If you are watching all the way through to the end here and you oops, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading through the chat here. I thought I missed something. If you are watching all the way through to the end here and you are watching the replay, don't forget that you can enter, and all of you watching now during the live as well can enter again when you watch the replay to go in for a second chance to win the prize of the beautiful crochet pattern. That just looks so nice. I'm trying not to cast it on myself. I'm like, I've got like so many projects to finish, and yeah, I just need to definitely finish some other things before I cast on a new project, because that one I would need to buy everything for as well, because I would totally want to do it in that Katona cotton. Is it Katona? I don't know how to say it. I used some for a little project in December, at the beginning of December, and it was totally addictive to use. So I'm like, all the excuses to purchase it. I did. I sort of just like stopped midway through a word, didn't I? So I'm sorry about that. And we all know that sometimes this stream does freeze, so it's totally plausible. What's a new whip between friends? Exactly right. But I think I have enough to at least, so when the girls were helping me organize the craft room, I've got an entire crate of unfinished projects. Some of them will never be finished and need to be ripped back and the yarn get repurposed. But some of them I want to finish, so I'm trying to get through some of those as well. But it's so hot here, and we don't put the aircon on every day, just, you know, at the moment most days, that it's just not nice. It's not conducive to yarn crafting. And so I've been focusing on little simple things like my little squares that I'm working on here, things that I can just put down. Spanish Chick says there's much less whips than there is fluff. That's the absolute truth. Turns out I had a lot more in my fiber stash than I was aware. So I'll be doing a bit of a de-stash over the coming weeks as I get things organized and done here. I'll be taking some photos and just popping it probably through the fun zone. Probably it'll just be just a straight up purchase it directly through me and through my private PayPal, because it's all personal stash. I don't want to confuse the accountant. So we will try and sort all that out. But if you like spinning, I've got some really pretty fibers coming up that I've purchased from other dyers that I'm not going to get a chance to spin in my lifetime, so I'm going to pass them on to somebody else. Aunt Ida says she's just finished a blanket and I have a throw to finish before I can start any new projects. I totally understand, Aunt Ida. Di says, would it be the wrong time to say I've started another project? No, but you don't have anywhere near as many projects going as I have. She's so much fun. I do. And the thing is, that craft room is all my personal craft. There's no Fiberific stock in there. It's all my stuff. And like, I go to Bendigo and some years I'm really restrained and like, yes, I shall not spend all my profits on purchasing other people's things. But I think like there was a couple of years where I'm like, you know what? I don't see any of this stuff and I'm just going to buy it right now and just come home with like, you know, like armloads like this of things from Bendigo. And then sometimes I'll see like, oh, that's a pretty color. I shall buy it. And yeah, so I'm very tragic and I just don't get as much time for spinning as I used to. So I'm going to go through some stuff. The other thing I'm going to do is I've got lots of stuff that I created up ready to make bats out of. And so if you guys are interested, I might make some little mini bats and see if anyone wants those. Sally says I have at least 6 blankets that need to be finished. Aunt Ida is spinning silk because it doesn't felt. But doesn't it make your hands even more sweatier? I find that spinning silk, I've got to be in the mood for it. And B, I really just stress about it. Yeah. Bags you pull out 2 years later and say, oh yeah, I got this. Yes, absolutely. Spinner Check says poonies, rollags. You're just throwing out them spinning terms, aren't you? But no, I've got a small drum cutter. I've actually got a, what is it? It's a mini. I think it's I want to say Strouch Mini. I could be wrong. I've had it for years. I've had it for such a long time. I was actually talking to Margicraft because I'm a Margicraft dealer the other day, and I was talking to them about drum cutters because they've got this amazing drum cutter, and I'm like, oh, I really want that drum cutter. It makes big, beautiful bats. Mine only makes like little, short, narrow ones. This one just makes like crazy big bats. So yeah, it's like I want that to make bats that I'll probably still not spin. So yeah, it's on the top of the bookcase. It is on the top of the bookcase. That's right. The silk doesn't hold much heat at all. I know, Aunt Ida, but I've actually had like one time I was spinning some silk, and I was spinning undyed silk, so it was white. It was bleached. And it wasn't until I'm sort of spinning it, because I don't really watch what I'm doing. I watch TV. And I was like, it wasn't until I noticed it going through the bobbin. But because my hand was a bit sweaty in my finger, because I'm a sweaty person, I'd actually cut a little groove into my finger, and it was like bleeding on the fibers. So, because I was spinning it very fine as well. So yeah. But I don't know. I haven't had the urge to spin. But in saying that, I'm getting my drop spindles down, and I want to get into that again because it's just comfy. I sit with my feet up on the couch like an absolute lady, and and I can spindle spin. So Jackie says her biggest issue with silk is static. Agreed. So especially what do you call them? Hankies. Hankies are terrible for static. But just a really slight misting with just water. Don't put anything in the water, but just like, you know, those really fine mist water bottles. Like I'm thinking water bottles, those nice atomizer bottles, but just the merest. Um, Pip and Poppycock again asking, is there a darker shade than Hot Joss? At this stage, no, but I could trial something if you've got something in mind that you would like. So yeah, like I'm assuming she's talking about darker pink because Pip and Poppycock has got one of the beautiful pink gradient sets that goes from I think yours goes Joss and paler. I'd have to check, but I think you've got like Joss and pink lemonade and blush and like that sort of going down. Watermelon is a different kind of pink. I don't think it would work. It's a different shade of pink. It would be it would look lovely, but it wouldn't be that soft grade up to darker, like what you've got so far. It'd be like darker, random other pink. So yeah. Sally says spinning makes me dizzy. Oh my gosh, Sally. I don't know what I'd do if that happened to me. Spinning makes me sleepy. Because I spin slowly. I'm not like a crazy, like, wow, spinner. Like, you can't see that, but I was just treadling my feet. But I tend to, like, rock when I spin, like, dun, da, da, dun, da, da. And I actually think of a song, which is why I was like going dun, da, da, dun, da, because it's like that kind of dun, da, da, dun, da, da, dun, da. That's kind of the speed that I spin at. So, yeah, but I have it on, like, a fast ratio, so the actual flyer spins quick. So, yeah. But anyway, my lovely friends, the rain is getting very loud. It is time for us to depart. Do you want to jump over onto the Fiberific Fun Zone to continue on our conversations? Absolutely do that. If you want to try and jump on and join our Patreon so you get early access to my videos, I'd really appreciate that as well. Oops, hello. Face cam went off right at the end. I'm still here. And you know, we've got lots of ways for you to support Fiberific, so you can jump in and try any of those. This afternoon, I'm off to Caffeinated Crafters, and so it will be a lot of fun. Hopefully, the rain is just rain and doesn't keep you know, thundering and lightning. I'm not a fan of driving in that. But I will have lots of crafting supplies for those of us that want to make pouches while we're sitting there. And I will see you all there. So I hope you have a fantastic day, a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you. Oh my God, the rain's getting so hard. I will catch you all later. Bye. Hang on a second. There we go.